Hey there YouTube, welcome to Ant Talk, the weekly comic conversation. So I just saw the movie Sully, starring Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart, directed by Clint Eastwood. This is a no spoiler review. There's not much to spoil since it's based on a true story, so I will be going over some specific details which are all already known due to this event that actually happened in 2009. So, Sully is a true story about a plane, Flight 1549, piloted by Chelsea Sullenberger, aka Sully, played by Tom Hanks, and his co-pilot Jeff Skiles, played by Aaron Eckhart. The plane that lost both engines shortly after takeoff, and instead of crashing, Sully and his co-pilot were able to safely land in the Hudson River, saving all 155 people on board. What did I think? I actually thought this movie was pretty damn good. Starting with the acting, performances I thought across the board were pretty good, especially from Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a great actor that at this point of his career you've come to expect a certain consistency from him. No matter what you think of the movies he's in, Tom Hanks usually brings a good performance, making his movies very watchable as long as there's a lot of him in it. I thought the other performances were good, especially Aaron Eckhart. I thought him and Tom Hanks had a good chemistry and really seemed like a good pilot and co-pilot, especially after everything they went through together, especially since this is something these characters went through in real life together. Pacing of this movie, it goes back and forth between the actual incident and the present time of the movie, which is during the investigation that follows. There's a couple flashbacks that go way back in the flying life of Sully. Don't know if the scenes are really needed, but it does give you just like a little bit more background on his character. It's really not a long movie, which is good. It didn't drag on, which I feel like this type of movie could have been like 2 hours or longer, which a lot of times they are, and sometimes they do suffer from that. So this was a lot shorter, and I feel like it benefited from that. What I really liked about this movie was the personal or humanizing feeling that it gave. You became very engaged with what the characters are going through, especially in the moment. Even though you know this is a true story and everybody lives, there's points in this movie you feel like you're not sure. You're almost scared like they are for them, like they're not going to make it. So I thought it did a really good job with that, especially during the plane going down and all the passengers and how the main characters dealt with it afterwards. And going back to Hank's performance, he does a really good job displaying what Sully is dealing with during this investigation. It was a very traumatic experience for everyone involved, but all these passengers, they get to move on and rejoice that they're alive and go on regarding Sully as a hero that saved them. But Sully and his co-pilot, they also went through this very traumatic experience, but they don't get to move on like that. They have to deal with all the consequences that come with this incident. And you really feel for them. You know, they almost lost their jobs, their pension, and you know, it had them second guessing whether they actually did the right thing. Eastwood and especially Hanks and Eckhart did a good job displaying this type of weight on their shoulders. I also like a lot of the shots and a lot of the images and camera pans that Eastwood uses that makes this movie, which is mostly dialogue except for, you know, the plane crash, a lot more visually intriguing. I feel like this movie might not be for everyone. Some people, depending on who you are, might find it a little boring. Like I said, they do talk a lot, but if you do have interest in the subject matter before going in, that would help, or at least knowledge of it. Me, for instance, I didn't really know I wanted to see this movie as much as I did until I went to the theater and saw it. It grabbed me a lot more than I thought it would. Overall, I thought this was a good movie, but I wouldn't necessarily say it blew me away. But I am glad I saw it, and I would recommend it to most people. I'd probably give it about a 7.5 out of 10 or so, but I really can't knock it too much. But that's my opinion. Have you seen Sully? Let me know what you think. This has been Ant Talk. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you later.